All right, folks, this is episode 3. I can't believe we made it to 3. We're still in single digits, so not ready to cheer death yet. We're still in single digits, but we're here. So this week is another episode of the Disney Film Project Reloaded, the Plus Experience. So the Plus Adventure Experience. What are those fancy names you want to go? Experience, adventure, watch. Type of things.
All around you.
So each week, if you haven't gotten familiar yet, here's what we do. Each week, Rachel and I are going to pick 2 or 3 different things, maybe 4. Who knows? Probably not more 4. Probably not more than 3, to be honest. It's a lot of time watching movies. At least we don't have to watch 1 2-hour movie every week anymore.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
That makes things a lot easier.
So Rachel and I each pick 3. We don't talk to each other about it. Not normally, unless we're talking usually about The Mandalorian, which again, we're going to skip for a few more episodes. We're going to let that get more established. See where the bounty is going there.
Yes, where the cute little bounty is going.
And deciding on which platform we're using. Right now, I like Facebook because I get results. I get to see who likes it, who doesn't like it. So if you like YouTube, I would like you put in the comments that I like YouTube. If you like Facebook, go onto our Facebook page, put I like Facebook. Let us know which one you like. My friend Tom, yeah, he doesn't like Facebook. I know, it's weird, but I can't fault the guy. This isn't on Twitter. Sorry, folks. If it was on Twitter, we could just make it easy. So decide what you like to see. We have a few more episodes to suss it out between each other and decide what we're gonna stick with. But this week we're just sticking YouTube only. We will post the link on our Facebook as we normally have, or as I normally do. And hopefully we won't have technical issues this time. So, Rachel, what did you pick as your first episode this week?
Okay, so my first one is my theme that I went with this week is things that were not Disney when they were made, but they are Disney now. So my first choice was Home Alone, the original Home Alone, which is available on Disney Plus. Because I also figured 'tis the season. And I think most people probably watching this have seen the original Home Alone. I mean, it's one of those holiday movies. It's on every year. It's on cable. Most families end up watching it at some point. But I will put it out there that I think it's one of the holiday movies from that era that very much holds up. I think it's still very funny. I think it's very well acted. It's one of my favorite Catherine O'Hara roles, and I absolutely love Catherine O'Hara. I think that she just, I think the movie probably would not work without her as the mother. And I think it's also the perfect time to revisit it because over on Netflix, they put out the series, The Movies That Made Us, which is a spin-off of their series, The Toys That Made Us. And each episode, they look at the background of a movie that's considered to be classic in American cinema, and they look at how it actually got made and some of the difficulties that it went through. And one of their first episodes is Home Alone. And I gotta tell you, there is a lot I did not know about the making of that movie that you will learn if you watch that series. So I highly recommend watch Home Alone, watch the episode from The Movies That Made Us, and then go back and rewatch it again and appreciate the fact that John Candy did his appearance in that movie on scale. So he got paid less for that movie than the pizza guy. So fun fact about that. So that was my first choice for this week. What was your first choice, Cheryl?
My first choice for this week was Fancy Nancy.
Fancy Nancy.
Oh my goodness. So I hate this. I'm never watching this again.
Oh no.
It's like, at least with Vampirina, there was something there that kind of got you in. Like, for adults also, it's like, let's see where they go with this. We know what they're going for. They're going to say, well, this person's, different than you are. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Fancy Nancy. Nancy's less fancy. She likes to use big words. It was horrible. I have to say this. And everyone knows me. Everyone knows that I'm pretty much like, I'm in for anything. This I was done by the first 15. I didn't really want to stay for the next 15, but I did anyway. And I can tell you, it's great if you want your kids to learn a lot of big words and and learn about French stuff and stuff like that, or encourage your kids to be unique, maybe. But that's really stretching it, folks. I really hated this. I have to say that. So that was my first escapade this week. What was your next escapade, Rachel?
Okay, so my next was, because the 90s were very formative to me, I had to go with The Simpsons, because I grew up watching this after school many, many, many days. And I've been revisiting some of my favorite episodes and also going back and seeing what people list as some of their favorites and discovering some new gems in the process.
Here's where I admit, I've never seen a full episode of The Simpsons. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never seen the whole episode. And I'm playing The Simpsons iPhone game, folks. I know, like, how half these characters are. I know Homer, Marge, and the basic people. But like, when you're on this game, you get like expanded people. It's like,
yes,
who are you? And they're dumb, and they're like it's like so weird. It's like so Homer was in something called the B Sharps or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, and that's one of the things is you had to make the B sharpshooter unite this week. And so
I think that's from the episode when he's in the barbershop quartet. I'm pretty sure.
So I have no idea about. I mean, I have an idea about The Simpsons, but I haven't watched ever a full episode. I might get there. I might get there probably, but
yes.
But I do think, I think The Simpsons is definitely what we call culture. I mean, our pop culture is what we are. I mean, it's like if you were to go to Pawn Stars and to say you have the first Homer Simpson doll, let's say, they would give you, and what Pawn Stars does is they go give you a little bit fact about the Simpsons. The Simpsons, and who is created by, and all this blah 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 blah. And so I mean, it's really something that I should have watched. I'm not sure why I never really got one the whole episode, but I should. But tell me what you like most about The Simpsons.
Okay, so there's kind of a couple different types of Simpson episodes that you can get. You can get ones that are very, very sweet and very surprisingly touching, and then there's ones that are just all about getting you to laugh. And I think there's also ones that are really about building out the town itself and building out like some of the minor characters and kind of giving a little bit more of like that this feels like a real place that's lived in. And the ones that I've really been drawn to the most have been the sweeter episodes. I tend to really go for Lisa episodes. There's an episode about Lisa deciding to become a vegetarian, which is very touching. Yeah.
Which you go first if you go to Universal, folks. Although nothing on the menu is vegan. Lisa's restaurant is vegetarian.
Yes.
I do know that one. But it's
Yes.
funny that they're now into veganism. I mean, Universal as well as Disney, everyone's into plant-based veganism, whatever you want to call it, whatever we're calling it these days.
Mm-hmm.
Politically correct content. I guess plant-based because a lot of people don't like the antithesis of what some vegans stand for, which I get. My friend Tom would be the first one to yell at you, folks, if we got him on to talk about veganism. He would be the first person to yell at all of us about everything. Well, except for me, because I went vegan 7 years ago and haven't gone back. So, but back to going to Simpsons. So basically, they do have some of the stuff from the show inside Universal Studios, which is going to be interesting how they're going to deal with that. Because we talk about the Marvel contract a lot, and now we have to deal with a whole nother contract, folks. And how are they going to deal with this? Is very, very interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, they even have joked with the Simpsons characters. I think when they first announced that Simpsons was coming to Disney Plus, they put out this little video with the Simpsons all wearing their Mickey Mouse ears. And Homer being like, Bart, put it on. We're part of the Disney family now. But I was going to say the episodes that I've really been going to have aside from kind of the family-centric ones, have been a lot of theme park themed ones. There's an episode called Itchy and Scratchy Land that is basically, yeah.
I've had to build. I had a whole long thing with Itchy and Scratchy on my game.
Yep. But Itchy and Scratchy is basically like the stand-in for your Looney Tunes, for your Disney, but it's most often for Disney and for Mickey Mouse. They use it in the Itchy and Scratchy Land. It's basically their stand-in for Disney World and their opportunity to like make parodies of all the different attractions and things.
Well, who knows if they'll keep doing that?
Yeah, we shall see. I kind of have to question. It's like if they acquired it, they kind of have to know what they're getting into with it because Simpsons was notorious for also making fun of their previous overlord of Fox. They had no problem at all times, at any chance that they got to poke fun at Fox. So, but that kind of falls into again the thing of that they will do anything to make you laugh. They'll like pull out any sort of gag, and they're kind of graded that way that they have a lot of sort of different types of humor going on. They'll have stuff that's just dumb and will only appeal to one type of person, but then they'll have things that will be parodies of like they have a whole episode that's built around Music Man, that's a parody of Music Man, and having this sort of snake oil salesman come into the town and sell the town on a monorail.
Oh yes, we had to build a monorail in the game too. Yes.
So, but if I could recommend a couple of episodes, if people are looking to get into it, and maybe for folks that have an idea of what The Simpsons is, and that they think that it's all just irreverent and that there might not be something for them, episodes that I would recommend would be Lisa's Substitute, which is about Lisa's class gets a substitute teacher who's voiced by Dustin Hoffman. And he's basically the best teacher that Lisa's ever had. And it's very well written. It's very sweet, and it does make me cry a little bit. I will also say Lisa's First Word is also another good one that's a flashback to when Bart and Lisa are little, and she's basically the new baby of the house, and he's kind of like, well, where do I fit into the family anymore? And he's coming up with all these schemes of how to get rid of his little sister. At one point, he tries to stick a bunch of stamps on her and mail her. Another one, he tries to He pushes her through the doggy door of their next door neighbor. Um, but the final reveal of what Lisa's first word is very touching. And then the other one, I notice I'm mentioning a lot of ones with the kids. And Maggie Makes Three is another one that I just recently revisited. That's about Homer having to make the choice between his dream job and the job that he hates, but he knows will be able to provide for his family, which he's going to soon be having a new child, Maggie. So he has to make the tough decision to quit the job that he loves and go back to the job that he hates. Um, and it also answers the question that the kids have, which is, why are there no baby pictures of Maggie around the house? And the reveal that the reason why is because he has all the pictures where he really needs them, which is at work. And they show his workstation, which is plastered with all the pictures of Maggie. It's so good. Such a good episode. So yeah, that is my second choice of the night.
So my second choice is actually The Emperor's New School. So this was either before or after the series. The movies. I can't remember if this one. But so what they did is they decided that Cusco was so popular. It had to be after. Because they go through this whole series of Yzma trying to ruin his school so he won't become emperor. And the first episode I watched, which was today, which was with Yzma turning him into a rabbit. Well, wanting to turn into so they decide that Cusco needs to pass Jim. And so they said, you have to win this race. And he's like, how am I going to win this race? Krung's in this race. I'm not winning this race. So, so and then Yzma comes up with the best thing. Let's turn him into something that he'll definitely lose the race. And then I can definitely become empress right there. Instant me. So Krung actually turns him into a rabbit. Which, of course, was, the rabbit won between the horse and the hare. They're right there. It sits right there. So Cusco wins as the rabbit. He gets turned back into normal, and then he gives Yzma some of her romance and then turns her into a rabbit at the end. So it's very it's very interesting because it's dealing with we get the plot every episode. We're not get Cusco bumped out of school, and then usually we have Pacha as the father figure, right there, being the father figure he is, and then he has this girl he likes at the school, and then basically that's it.
Yeah.
I only watched the first episode so far. I know I watched the whole entire series. I remember watching the whole entire series, folks. So I'm probably not going to go back into this, but I just do like that they kept going on with it because not Krunk. The Emperor's New Groove. I can't remember his name. Why am I fuzzing on his name?
Which character?
The head, the emperor himself.
Cusco?
Cusco, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Cusco, I like how they continue on. I like how they continued on, but they went to the past, not the future. I kind of like that fact. I mean, it's always, fun to go into, it's also easy. Sometimes it's easier to write yourself a past than write yourself a future, as we all know. So that's where I went with my next pick. What was your next pick, Rachel?
Okay, so my last pick was, again, following the theme of things that were not Disney when they were made. I went with the 2018 2019 documentary film Free Solo. Um, so this film is about rock climber Alex Honnold, who was, and it's about him trying to perform a free solo climb of El Capitan. And
wait, the one in Hollywood, not the one in Hollywood Studios, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there are two. We have to say there are two.
Yes. So this is not the movie to watch if you are afraid of heights, or if watching someone do something like this makes you anxious, because I gotta tell you, it's, obviously when you're watching it that this guy survived. Whether he succeeded or not, he is alive and he's fine. But he's also climbing this thing with like no harness, like nothing to help him if he falls. It's basically just him and his hands and his feet, and if he slips, there's nothing that's going to catch him. He's
landing flat on concrete, folks.
Yeah. So I got a chance to see this. Fortunately, I didn't see it in theaters because I think it would have been a bit too much for me to see this in theaters. But I did see this at home. And if you haven't seen this, I very highly recommend it. Just from a filmmaking standpoint, it's really stunning. The camera work on this, how they managed to film his climbs while also not, they basically had to set up the camera so that they would be out of his eye line, because they didn't want to distract him or potentially make him nervous and make him fall. So they had to capture these shots without him, being with like in his sight.
Also, they had to clear the street. Let me say that they have to when they, because I was actually there for Terminator, was going to be preview. They were going to do the preview of Terminator.
Oh no! This isn't the El Capitan Theater.
Oh,
this is the El Capitan, the like the rock face. Yeah. The rock formation in California that it is named for, I believe. But yes, it's in Yosemite.
I got myself fully confused, folks. That's what happens when. Well, first of all, can I say when I saw Free Solo, I'm like, wait, there's another Star Wars thing. I really thought it was gonna be something about. I really thought like that's something about Star Wars. So I'm gonna put it on the end.
Yeah.
So he's actually doing a rock formation in California somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, he's still landing on concrete or
he's
dirt or.
When you see how high this thing is, I mean, the elevation on this thing, the highest point is 7,573 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. And the way that they film it is just really spectacular. But again, if you are afraid of heights or nervous about heights in any way, maybe this might not be the movie for you. But maybe it might be. Maybe it's a good way to experience it in a safe place. But
my last choice for this week is Handy Manny.
Handy Manny.
So, for those of you who don't remember, there used to be this guy in Hollywood Studios that had a toolbox and was meeting up with people. And you're probably like, well, yeah, I know who he is. And like, my kids loved him. Why did Disney get rid of him? Don't know that, folks. But I do know that they started with an easy thing, which was Handy Manny had a set of tools, and sometimes the tools had problems of their own. Like I said, kids. He actually gets another tool in the series. They have a lot of people in junk that he had this relationship with the hardware store. If you want to go there, adults, that's the way to watch this thing. Live with it for your kids. So it's like go through knowing that they're like there's a secret relationship there. They actually have his grandfather does actually get married to one of the local ladies. Some of his family starts at the end where some of his family starts visiting. They go visit, become a pit crew. They meet other tools. I mean, it's they actually have to help. Penny's brother gets involved. Becomes a lifeguard, and they have to help the lifeguard. So it goes all crazy, folks. But it's actually like a fun. I mean, the songs are fun. First of all, song is really fun to listen to. So that's one thing it's got on its bucket. The second thing is the tools are really fun. Some good voices in there, so that's always fun. You get to deal with the local neighbors like Mr. Lopart, Mr. Lopart's cat, uh, like I said, the hardware store lady, always knowing what Mandy wants. And it's like, and you just go through different things, and it was a very good series. I was sad to see it end, but you know, like all good Disney animated series, they last
Yep.
over. They got the 2 or 3 season rule there, you know. That's why I'm worried about Simpsons. I have to say that. That's why I'm worried about Simpsons.
Well,
Is that
there are some rumors floating that Simpsons might be coming to an end next year,
yeah?
regardless.
Well, I would
Which,
think so anyway because it's been on so long.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
I also do have to think that, again, we're talking about Disney and their animation history is like, will DuckTales come back? Probably not.
Yeah.
I hope it does because
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I like the way it ended. The new DuckTales I'm talking about, not the old DuckTales. I'm talking about the new DuckTales with Webby and
Mhm.
everything like that. And they left it with the space invade, them kicking back the space invaders.
Mhm.
So I hope that comes back. I did like that series, I have to say that. I miss Big Hero 6 too. Big Hero 6 I really miss. That was a
Yeah.
really good series too. And
I
they
just
kind
miss
of
Big Hero 6 in general. Like,
oh
I want more movies. I want more show. I want just more of that.
yes, definitely. I mean, you know, I get though because they kind of ran themselves into a wall too because the mom found out who they were, what they were doing, and etc. etc. And so it's kind of like into a they fought the big guy and there was nowhere left to go. They kind of wrote themselves into a wall, and who knows if they're gonna continue. We know they were continuing crime, but they gotta write themselves another big. How would they write the silly character in, etc., etc., find what loose loop they left, and analyze the loose loops type of thing, as I like to say. Um, find that they did tie, basically. So basically, I took the time to watch kid shows this week because I really didn't have time this week. Again, hopefully this weekend I will have some time. I will hopefully get into a 2-hour movie. Probably something older, maybe something
Mhm.
newer. Who knows? I mean, I was, I'll definitely get out of this. I'll definitely try to get one too. Some out of the cartoon series for you folks. But the one thing I did want to touch base on is Wizards of Waverly Place. Did you hear that they may be doing a new series or new movie? Because apparently Vanessa Hudgens and David Henry have been talking
Hmm.
about doing the movie, doing either another show or doing a movie, like in a movie where they've grown up.
Okay.
I thought that was an interesting concept.
Yeah. I'm not against it.
I wish
I think so long as it's the right people, right writing and everything. Yeah.
yeah.
Be on board.
I don't know. I'd like to. I mean, I like that. they've got National Geographic on Disney Plus because that kind of goes back to their history with animals.
Yeah. Mhm.
I like that so far. Todd's into watching the Jeff Goldblum. I haven't seen that Jeff Goldblum thing at all.
I haven't yet. Maybe that will be a stay tuned.
Let's see what else is there that I saw that I was interested in. I don't know. There was the Disney Day and this other Disney thing. Well, I don't know if I really need those. I mean, I kind of have that.
You have lots of Disney days. Several of which I was present for recently.
Okay, folks. Well, this is our episode for this week, episode 3. Episode 4 next week, someday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Depends on Rachel and I's schedule. I mean,
yes.
Normally it depends on Todd's schedules. So, all right. So thanks for joining us again. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay of this, we really appreciate you watching. Again, let us know what you think and where you want to see us and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.